Hello, parents. I got enough questions after one of my classes today that I stopped and went, you know what? I should make a video of this because there's enough things I am not communicating. And the worst thing to do is under communicate. I'd rather over communicate because then hopefully everybody gets everything. So, what is graduation? For those of you who have not been to a graduation yet, this is what this video is for. I'm going to go through quite a bit. I'm going to try and keep the video under 10 minutes. I make no promises. So, first of all, what is graduation? Graduation is a celebration. The 2 weeks previous to graduation, I'm going to be going around with a pen and paper, taking notes, deciding the rank, going through a couple of things, and I'll talk about the metrics, the rubric later. But they've already passed. By the time they show up to graduation, I know what they're going to get, and you can know what they're going to get too if you want to know. But it's not a test. There's no chance of failing this graduation. We'll talk about testing in another video. So when you show up on that Saturday morning, either at 11 o'clock or noon, again, I'm recording this for February 2026. It's only 11 o'clock for this cycle, but in general, graduations are at both 11 o'clock and noon. There's no difference. Just pick the time slot that works better for you. When you show up, they're going to be doing a couple of different things. They're going to be doing their marching, falling. We're going to go over the mat chats. We're going to recall what we talked about the last several months. We're going to do our forms, our one steps, and by the end, we're going to break a board. So the marching is things that you've seen, right? It basically means we're going to do a scaled down class. You've seen the marching before. You've seen them do falling before. We've talked about various words month, right? This month we're doing optimism. Last month in January January just ended. Oh, that was December. Wow. Perseverance. All right. I should cut that. That's right. We'll be talking about perseverance and whatever it was in December. I think it was courtesy in December. So we'll go through those with the kids, see what their recall is, see what they remember, help to reinforce some of those good habits. After that, we'll do our forms. So we'll break them up by age and rank, appropriate, based on what rank they're going to next. They'll get to show off the form. Some kids will go twice, some kids will go 3 times. It depends on a lot of factors. I try and make it as fair as possible to all the students. I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to show their best work. And then after that, we do one steps. So as a reminder of how those one steps work, there's 3 different categories of one steps. There's one step hands, where we punch them and they do block emotions. There's one step kicks, where we punch them and they do some kicks toward us. And there's one step self-defense. Those are the grabs. One wrist, other wrist. Oh, what do we call the kids? Kids call it squirrel, mac and cheese, snake in a tree, all those that you've seen us do in class. In fact, one of the parents again today was asking, is that the mac and cheese? So I'm glad that you parents are listening out there. So the forms and the one steps they need for graduation are on videos on this channel and the beginner playlist. If I can, I will link to it somewhere up here later. I actually don't know if I can link to a playlist on YouTube. We'll figure that out. Now, as for the graduations, we graduate every 2 months. So it's February, April, June, August, October, and December. It's roughly every 8 weeks. I think I said 8 months earlier. Every other month, or roughly every 8 weeks. Let me say those months again. February, April, June, August, October, and December. So out here in 2026, if you have the 2026 calendar, which I never keep one nearby, you can consult that. It has the testing dates in green, I believe. For future calendars, I'm sure it'll still be in green. It'll still be nice, available for your 2027 calendar or beyond. All right. Now, what should you do before graduation? This is the main thing. Those 10x kindness, 10x discipline. I want to make sure that they are being good students at school, at home, wherever else they are besides here. I know they're good here. I would talk to you and be like, no, your kid's not ready. In order to get the graduate here, what we have, I have a couple of them over here, is the blue stripes. Blue stripes is for 4 good classes, 4 classes where they left with at least 1 clip. If they're behaving in class, I want to celebrate that success. If they're behaving at home, I want to celebrate that, right? We take little steps. So please do make sure they're doing this sheet at home. It does not have to be on this sheet. It can be on any piece of paper. It can be text or emailed in. In fact, I will do my best to link down below so that you can click on that link and submit the kindness and discipline that way directly to the system. All right. If I've been smart about this, I figured a way to screen share this. But what I'll be sending out an email that this video is included in is there are 2 pages that I have that go over the requirements. So if I just kind of look over at my other screen and read through this, for our 5 to 7 year olds, what we're looking for is these 6 things: increased time spent with the group, knowing their left from their right, understanding reciprocating limbs, responding appropriately with yes sir, yes ma'am, eye contact with the instructor, and then stay standing the entire class. So those are what we're looking for, right? If your student is a brand new white belt and they've been with us for 8 weeks or so, and they can stay on their feet, awesome. That's at least a white orange. That's at least a white orange. If they stay on their feet and they're already doing the yes sirs, yes ma'ams, that's a white green, right? And so we pace the rank appropriate to their age and to their soft skills for our white with a stripe, our 4 to 5, 6 year olds. For older students, actually, before I get that far, in order for them to go from the white with the stripe belts to the yellow with the stripe belts, what I'm looking for is all those 6 soft skills we talked about, as well as having the first 8 moves of the form. Any of the forms, the low block form, the high block form, the inside block form, which form they have doesn't matter as long as they have 8 moves of one of those forms. That is very important for the development, and that'll help them stay focused in the 7 to 12-year-old class. So if we jump over to our 7 to 12-year-olds, what we're looking for a lot for them is I'm looking for them to stay continuously focused in class, consistently demonstrating their reciprocating limbs, eye contact during partner drills, not just the instructor, but with their partners, consistent, I can read, consistently successful at cross-body motions, show 3 different stances and forms in marching, lead a section of warm-up or marching with limited coaching, and are able to assist younger students before and after class, such as lineups, stamps, things like that. And you'll see this during regular class. In fact, I had not read that recently. I did not remember that I had lead a section warm-up in there, but any of my regular parents can tell you I do have the kids lead warm-up at least once a month so they can practice that. In the higher ranks, the yellow, oranges, yellow, greens don't need my help. They have figured out what to say and how to move. And that's wonderful, right? That's getting them the sense of leading is something we practice. If you know what you're going to say, you don't have to fumble and think at the same time, which is what I'm doing here, which is why I'm umming and erring and hawing more than I should, because I know what I'm supposed to say, but I still have to check my notes to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. All right, so in order for them to move out of the yellow with the striped belts into the solid yellow, into our adult ranks, there are 2 big things we're looking for. First of all, those 7 requirements that were listed over there, they'll be in the email that I send out. And secondly, all 20 moves of the form, whether that's Seiging Ilbu, the low block form, Seiging Ibu, the high block form, or Seiging Sambu, the inside outside block form. If they have all 20 moves of that, I'm happy. That's wonderful. That is what we're looking for. Now, the hiccup for a lot of kids is it's with the distinguished stances. They might have the hands, but they might not have the feet. So once they have that whole body control, once they have that self-discipline and make their body move where they want their body to go, and that memory to remember all those stances and steps, then they're ready for the adult ranks, the yellow belt, half belt, orange belt, and the curriculum further down. That is future casting for a lot of our students, but I want to make sure everybody has a goal. That is good to have. All right. Lastly, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. What do you need before class? We need the 8 classes for the white belts or 12 classes for the all other ranks. That's where these blue stripes come into play. So my white belt should have at least 2 blue stripes in their belt. Everybody else should have at least 3 blue stripes in their belt. Out of a 8-week cycle, if you're coming twice a week, that's 16 total classes. So if you 75%, right? I want to try and make sure our students are coming about 75% of the time. More is obviously better, but if you're not coming that much, then we need to have a conversation. And then what to do afterwards? Honestly, celebrate. There are probably bad reasons to celebrate. Let me take that back. But your kid earning a new belt is not a bad reason to celebrate. That's a fantastic time to go out and talk to them, reinforce it. As much as they like me, they like you a million times more. If I tell them great job, okay, Mr. Mashman likes me. If you tell them great job, hey, you are so focused, that penetrates so much deeper into their soul. That gets to the core of their being. That will help encourage them to work harder and connect the success to the effort, the previous effort, way better than I can. I give you the tools. I give them the improvements, but it's a lot up to you to help reinforce that at home. Like I said, I am Mr. Mashburn, you are mom and dad. And that's how life works. Let's see, last little bit. Initial belts. Oh, the belts are not sacrosanct. You can mark them up, right? I put my stamp on them. That way, if we're at a regional event and the belt goes missing, it gets turned into me, and I can figure out who it is from there. If you also put initials on the belt, either next to the either on the tip or next behind the logo or next logo or somewhere else, if you put their initials somewhere small on the belt where it's not noticeable when they're wearing it, that's a great way to make sure that your belt doesn't get lost. And I'd suggest putting, if you have all three initials, put all three initials. If you have more initials, I guess put more initials, but write it little and small. That way, it's not noticeable when they're wearing it, but you can identify your belt very quickly just in case. And lastly, the week after graduation and testing, for those of you who are adults watching this video, the week after graduation is always buddy week. You are 100% welcome to bring a buddy. The first week of the cycle is the easiest to bring new students in, and it's also the time that I tend to use the students to show off a little bit more, have them lead warm-ups, have them do some of the marching, have them do some other skills or drills. For the case of February, again, I'm recording this video in February 2026, the buddy week at the very beginning of March after graduation is going to be a balloon one. So the students are going to get balloons. They're going to get to leave with the balloons. We're going to do some drills around balloons, which reminds me, I need to go buy balloons. But that's all right. I believe that is it. 11-ish minutes. Not terrible. I hope this makes sense. I hope this clears some stuff up. And then this will be connected, like I said, with the email. That way, if you would like to read or get deeper into one of the topics, please do. Otherwise, thank you, and I'll see you all soon.